Are you looking to move to Colorado and want to be somewhere where outdoor recreation is right at your fingertips, but you're also conveniently located to cities like Boulder, Fort Collins, and Denver? Well, if so, Longmont should really be at the top of your list. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Moving to Colorado and I'm Taylor Ratliff, your host. And this channel is really meant for you if you're looking for a boots on ground feel of what it's like to live here, what the cost of living is, what the housing market looks like, what you can expect when it comes to the different seasons, what traffic looks like, and different areas that you should really hone in if you're thinking about moving here. And I'm also a real estate agent here. So if you want to move to Colorado and you want it to be an enjoyable and seamless, smooth experience, then definitely reach out. I've done it just like you're wanting to, and there's definitely a lot of things that I wish I would have done better and that I learned along the way. So happy to be a resource for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow this channel, do all of that jazz so that you can stay in the loop every single time that me or my team makes a video, so that you can really stay in the know of what it's like to live here. Colorado is a beautiful place, and I really want your experience to be the best and not one where you're moving to Colorado and there's a lot of things that are popping up that you didn't expect, where you have to either go home or the lifestyle is really not what you were expecting because you're having a lot of hardships that are just popping up everywhere. So again, without meaning to drag on and on, this channel is meant for you if you are thinking about moving to Colorado and you want help with the process so that it is an enjoyable experience. Okay, let's get into the video. If you are here, I would assume that you've done a little bit of research on what makes Colorado so great, and that's why you're diving in deeper on the more specific towns and cities and places that you might be potentially interested in moving to. Longmont is going to fit the perfect profile of a Colorado town. You have absolutely incredible views of the mountains in Longmont, and specifically Long's Peak and Meeker's Peak. And it's just absolutely breathtaking over there. And then when we're talking about cost of living, Longmont is located in both Boulder County and Weld County. And Boulder County, homes in Boulder are selling for on the median price point of about 1.2 to 1.3 million as of October 2025. And comparatively, Longmont homes, single family homes, are selling for about 600,000 at that median price point. And so significantly cheaper, but you have the same benefits in Boulder County. And then you also have homes and taxes that are going to be even cheaper when you get just a little bit further east and north into Weld County. And so tons of benefits when we're talking about cost of living, but you still have all of the access to the outdoors. You still have beautiful views. It's a great place to live. There's an abundance of trees. Right now, as of October, like I said, the leaves are changing and it's just absolutely gorgeous, and it's flooded with like gold seas everywhere. I'll show you some clips, but Longmont is also a big appeal for families that are moving here for schools. And so the St. Vrain School District and also Boulder Valley School District are going to be incredible places for you to enroll your kids. And a lot of people are specifically moving cross country to enroll their children in the schools that we have in Colorado. And so incredible place if you're looking for great schools. And it's also very, very conveniently located. So Longmont is going to be about 30 minutes away from the heart of Boulder. We're about 45 minutes to Fort Collins, 45 minutes to Denver if you don't have any traffic. Sometimes when we're talking about rush hour, driving to Denver can get up to an hour and a half. Rush hour is no joke on I-25, but Longmont is just very conveniently located because not only does Longmont itself have a ton to do and a ton of attractions, but you're a 30 to 45 minute drive to Denver, Boulder, and Fort Collins. And those are three major cities that are always going to have something to do. And so Longmont is a great attraction if you're looking for affordability and great views, great homes, and then also potentially having a relatively lower commute if you are not going to be working in Longmont. You could very, very easily get a job in Denver or Boulder and not have to pay those prices while living in Longmont. So there are a ton of things that are bringing people and drawing people to Longmont, Colorado, and we're going to dive into more of them and a little bit more of the specifics on each into this video. But reminder, I am a real estate agent. I did move to Longmont in 2021, and so I have been through the ringer. I've been through what you have, and there are a lot of things that I wish I would have done different, a lot of things that I've learned, and also since getting my license in real estate, there are a lot of different things that are important to just be aware of, especially now in the current state of the market in 2025. So this video is not only going to get into some of the highlights of Longmont and different things to expect, cost of living, housing, transportation, all of that jazz. We're also going to get into a specific neighborhood that is just very, very cute in Longmont. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about where the current housing market is and what you should be expecting if you are someone that is thinking about buying a home when moving to the state. So again, very happy to be a resource for you if you have any questions at all around moving to Colorado, what it's like living here. If you want more information on a specific city, if you want numbers, you let me know, because I am very happy to help. And like you, I've moved to this beautiful state, and it has definitely opened up so many doors for me. So happy to answer any questions. Longmont also has a very neat historic downtown area, and so I'll show you a little bit of clips on that and what to expect. So if you want affordability with great access and still a little bit of historic and small town charm, then Longmont is going to be a perfect place for you to call home. Just a little bit of the information on Longmont is that we're sitting at about 100,000 people when we're talking about population. And then we're 40 miles north of Denver and about 15 miles northeast of Boulder. And then Longmont is known not only for the craft breweries and the great views and the outdoor lifestyle, but also for the tech industry. So we're going to get into a little bit of what that all means. But if you're looking for small town charm, if you're looking for a mix of new builds and community, historic charm, also a really nice downtown area, Longmont's going to be perfect for you. We are diving right into a little bit on how Longmont is structured and what you can expect in the different areas when it comes to neighborhood vibe, community vibe, amenities, and also what kind of homes that you can expect to see. Starting us off, we are getting into the historic downtown area, or as it's commonly referred to, Old Town Longmont. And that area has a very vibrant community feel and vibe because it's very close and walkable to Main Street. And Main Street is where we have all of downtown Longmont. So shops, restaurants, stores, anything that you can think of. Longmont really has that cute mountain vibe and feel, because not only do you have views of the mountains, but you have all of the Loco, which is a Longmont, Colorado's little brand, and other type of Colorado mountain town shops. So it's super cute. I really enjoy myself when I'm walking around Maine. I always find myself ending up in Scrumptious because it's delicious and it's just a candy shop that you can't avoid. But Pump House, The Roost, there's going to be a ton of different restaurants that you're going to love in Main Street. And then they just got a new crack pots, and that's a little painting area for you to paint pottery. There's a lot of different things that you're able to do, and there's red brick everywhere. So it's just got a really cute view, a very cute feel and vibe, and I just love it. The historic downtown area in Longmont is going to give you that very strong community vibe, and then it also has a very strong sense of history and a lot of character. We are also talking about 3rd Avenue in Longmont, and there is so many historic buildings that are so interesting and so beautiful, and it's just a really beautiful time walking down, especially right now because all of the trees are golden yellow and orange, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So highly recommend the historic downtown Old Town Longmont area if you're somebody that wants to be very close to all of the amenities and shops and things that a downtown area has to offer, but also while keeping a very small town vibe, because all of the historic homes, they really truly keep their character. And it's like you're transplanted into a different world when you're on Main Street and 3rd Avenue in different areas in Longmont. We are gonna hop into Southwest Longmont. So you can expect newer developments like Somerset Meadows and Harvest Junction. And it's a great place if you want newer homes, parks, trails, and very easy access to Boulder. We have West Longmont, which is going to be a mix of mid-century and new construction homes, but you have absolutely gorgeous mountain views here, and you're close to Golden Ponds, which is a really neat little recreation area where you can go fishing, hiking, biking, and there's a ton of ponds, and it's just super cute area. There's also Rogers Grove. There's a ton of biking trails, like I said. And then you also have really great access to amenities because everything on Hover, you have great restaurants, shops, and it's also conveniently located to Ken Pratt as well. East Longmont is going to be more affordable, and you have a mix of both older and newer communities that are expanding towards Weld County. So not only are the homes going to be more affordable, but the taxes are going to be more affordable. And that really matters when we're talking about monthly payment and what you can really do financially here. Dollars really mean everything, and I want to make sure that you are completely prepared on what it's going to cost you to not only move here, but to also live here, because living in Colorado is incredible if you have access to all of the attractions and things to do in Colorado. But if you're financially poor here, Colorado is not going to be enjoyable because you're not going to be able to do anything. And while there are amenities or things to do, attractions like hiking and biking and fishing and all of that, that is going to be relatively on the cheaper side, it still does cost you gas and all of the things to get there. And so you want to be prepared. You want to understand that while this is a beautiful place to live and it's a lot more affordable than Boulder, it's still going to be higher when we're talking about coming from places like New Mexico, Texas, North Carolina, Tennessee, places like that. But if you are someone that's coming from New York or Oregon, California, even places in Arizona, this is going to be less or very, very comparative when it comes to the cost of living. And then we have South Longmont, and this is going to be the area near Clover Basin and also with the new developments like Renaissance and Quail Ridge. And then South Longmont is actually very popular with families and professionals because there's great schools, there's new parks, and it's very close to the Boulder County Fairgrounds, and it's just a really great area. I am going to hop right into the cost of living. So cost of living is very important no matter where you are moving to. If you are somebody that is coming from areas like California, New York, Washington, even places in Arizona, you're going to be looking at a very similar price tag when it comes to cost of living. And that follows utilities, that follows groceries, all of that. And you might even be looking at a more affordable cost of living when moving to Colorado. If you are like me and you're coming from a southern state, a state with less population, then you are going to be in for quite a big surprise, just because Colorado is truly a destination state. And what that means is that prices are staying high because everybody wants to live in Colorado. Not everybody wants to live in New Mexico. And so you see that price difference. When we are looking at the median home price in Longmont, you're sitting at around a $600,000 price point. And comparatively, in Boulder, we're seeing about a $1.3 million median price point in
Boulder. So if you are somebody that is going to be working in Boulder, if you're somebody that's going to be working in Denver or any of those cities that are going to cost more to live in, it might be very beneficial for you to look into living in Longmont so that you can still have that high paying job without having to pay the premium that's associated with living in that area. So Longmont is going to be very affordable when we're talking about comparing to Boulder or Denver. And then if you continue to go east, the further east you get, the more affordable it is. So immediately we get into Meade, Colorado. Meade, Colorado has really blown up. You have way more affordable homes over there. And then as we continue going, we are in Frederick and Firestone, Dacono area. And that is when it truly starts getting into that more type of farmland area, more spread out. And you're going to see a lower purchase price, lower median purchase price when we are moving further east. When you move further west, because of your proximity to the mountains and because of your proximity to Boulder, things are going to get more expensive. If you are someone that is thinking about moving to Colorado and you don't want to purchase just yet, you should know that the average 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartment is going to run you around 2,200 to 2,500, I would say, with utilities included. So that's for an apartment. If you're thinking about a 3 bedroom, 2 bath home, we're looking at more 2,800 a month, and that is not including utilities for a single family rental home. So keep in mind, depending on where you're coming, a lot of times your income can be doubling and then the cost of housing is actually tripling. And so we just really, really want to make sure that you are doing your due diligence, that you reach out if you have any questions, because if you cannot afford the lifestyle that comes with Colorado, and if you can't do anything except just work to afford a roof over your head, you're not going to have an enjoyable experience here, and you're likely going to be moving home with less money in your pocket than you came with. So again, if you have any questions on cost of living and how to compare that, very happy to do so. Housing is going to be a lot more expensive in Colorado compared to other states, whereas the utilities, groceries, and things like that are actually pretty similar. So housing is the big one. Because we are in Colorado as well, I also always recommend to my clients that are purchasing to note the real estate taxes, because some of the areas in Colorado are actually metro district taxing districts. And that means that as they continue to do improvements, as they continue to add infrastructure to go along with the homes that they are building, your taxes are going to go up. And so it truly is worth doing the step back full picture of what is it going to cost me to live here? What is the breakdown for housing? What's the breakdown for groceries? What's the breakdown for utilities? And what am I expecting to be making monthly? And also, what type of lifestyle do I want to live here? If you are someone that loves to go skiing and snowboarding, then you need to allocate a lot more money for the winter months as compared to somebody that likes to go snowshoeing, because that's not as expensive. So keep in mind, cost of living is huge, and it's one of the main things that causes people to regret their move to Colorado and not enjoy it here. Schools and education is a big one when you're thinking about moving. That's probably going to be one of your main factors. If you have small children, if you have middle-aged children, or even if you're a young professional that wants to be close to great colleges. So with that in mind, Longmont is served by the St. Vrain Valley School District. Great school district. It's actually ranked as one of the top school districts in the country. There's a lot of people that are moving from out of state to enroll their kids in the Longmont schools. What I will also say is that Boulder Valley School District is also one of the top ranked school districts in the country. So there are a lot of people that are moving from out of state to enroll their kids in these schools. And part of being in Colorado means that you're actually able to choice your children into the schools that you want them to attend. So what that means is that if you are able to make the transportation happen, if you're able to get your kid to that school for them to attend, your child can attend that school. So just because you are in Longmont does not mean that you are limited to the St. Vrain Valley School District. If you wanted to go outside of that, that is totally up to you. That is totally your prerogative. And we do have incredible schools that are across the entire state. I will also say that Longmont is very conveniently located to CU Boulder, again, without the prices that are associated. So when we're thinking about a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo over in Boulder, we're looking at a minimum of $500,000 when you are anywhere near the school. And so if you are a young professional, if you have a child that is going to be attending CU and you want to potentially get them a place for them to stay without you having to pay the rental costs associated with areas that are nearby or even the school housing, or if you're thinking about relocating so that you can be close to your child that attends CU Boulder, then Longmont is going to be a great place for you to live because of the proximity to the school in Boulder. And then we also do have the community college that is in Westminster, and we do have the college that is in Fort Collins. So truly, regardless of the type of education, whether it is STEM or you want a focus in robotics, or if you want just whatever it is, Longmont is going to be a great place for you to start. And then again, if you are somebody that wants your child to follow a specific educational path, reach out, because I would love to help guide you and refer you to the district website so that you can really see, if I want my child to pursue robotics, these are the schools that they should get involved in. If I want my child to be on the swim team, these are the schools that they should get involved in. So very important. Again, happy to be a resource for you, happy to really take the stress out of trying to find all of that information yourself. But again, Longmont has great schools. If you are wanting great schools for your kid to attend or for future children to attend, or if you are wanting to attend a great college yourself, Longmont's going to be a great place for you. One of the main attractions about living in Longmont is going to be the type of lifestyle and the things to do. So living in Longmont means that you have all of the conveniences that a city with over 100,000 people in population would give to you, but you also are only about 30 minutes away from the Rocky Mountains. So every single day, you're going to have absolutely breathtaking views of Long's Peak and Meeker's Peak. And those are 14ers. Those are also available for you to hike. And then you are only 30 minutes away from Boulder. So all of the hikes in Boulder that are available, there's actually 500 plus different trails available on All Trails for you to choose from. And so if you are somebody that loves outdoor recreation, if you love being outdoors, if you love the mountains, Longmont is the place for you. And if you also don't want to have the maintenance that comes with those true mountain towns, Longmont is going to be great because it does have that small town vibe, that small town feel, again, with all the amenities that come with a city. I will also say that the downtown area of Longmont is super cute, super walkable. There's a ton of things for you to do. They just opened up a new Crackpots facility where you're able to paint pottery. There's different restaurants all over downtown. There's a really cool landline donut shop, Scrumptious. I always have a hard time passing up Scrumptious. It's an incredible candy and ice cream store in downtown, but tons of things for you to do. You truly can spend a day, a weekend walking downtown. And then what's really neat too is that Longmont is really conveniently located to not only Pearl Street, which is the downtown area of Boulder, but you're also very conveniently located to Public Road, which is the downtown walkable area in Lafayette as well. So tons of things for you to do, tons of different cute downtown areas for you to walk. And when we start driving about 15 minutes into the mountains, you also get into Lyons, Colorado, which is a very, very cute downtown area, mountain town with tubing and a really beautiful river, great, great wildlife. And then as you continue for about 35-40 minutes, you are in Estes Park, which is home to the Rocky Mountain National Park, which is home to Stanley Hotel. And you are likely going to see tons of elk and wildlife, deer, so much for you to do. So not only do you have a lot of things that are at your fingertips in Longmont itself, but you're a very close drive to all of the outdoor recreation that surrounds Longmont as well. If you love the outdoors, you're going to love Longmont. And it also is available to you at a much more affordable price when we're comparing places like Estes Park, Lyons, Winter Park, Boulder, and all of those different mountain towns. You truly do have a mountain town feel in Longmont without having to pay for it or work for it, which is very convenient because since you live in a city, you have snow plowing. And personally, living in Longmont myself, they do an incredible job with the roads. And there are certain streets with housing that they are last to plow. But again, the heat gets so hot in Colorado, it's not unlikely for you to have a really big snowstorm in the early hours of the morning and then everything to be melted by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I do also want to mention that there is a very heavy presence of craft breweries here. So if you are a beer lover, an IPA lover, if you like to get a little fancy with different flavors like pecan beers, blackberry beer, and stuff like that, I'm not a beer lover. I would rather a martini. But if you are a beer lover, then truly anywhere in Colorado is going to be a great place for you to call home, because there are just, Colorado is recognized by being very dog friendly, very friendly to outdoor lovers, and then very friendly to craft beer lovers. And the Longmont is going to be very family friendly because there's tons of parks, things to do, very family oriented. And then it's also very friendly to dogs. There's quite a bit of restaurants and businesses that welcome you to bring your lovely pooch along with you as you shop. As we move through the year as well, there is no shortage of festivals or music events or different things and happenings that are happening within the city of Longmont for you to attend. And what's really neat is that usually when it is something that is being provided by the city of Longmont itself or in collaboration with different businesses, it's free for you to attend. So there's the restaurant week where all of the different restaurants participate and you have different discounts and incentives to go through all the restaurants in downtown. But there's also the art festival, there's different lavender festivals and music festivals. There's just truly so much for you to do. And as if that wasn't already hard enough for you to choose from, a 30-40 minute drive, you're going to have everything that Boulder is doing, everything that Denver's doing, everything that Fort Collins is doing, so much. And so truly, it's kind of hard to find downtime when you are wanting to attend all of these things because there's no shortage of farmers markets, things to do, pop-ups, and it really does give you that sense of community as well. And it's a great place for you to meet other people, have a great time, take your dog on a walk, socialize them, or make a splash as a new business owner. If you're somebody that's moving here and has a business, these areas are going to be perfect for you to participate in. Longmont actually has a pretty strong job market and economy. And the reason for this is because it has a very strong presence for healthcare, manufacturing, and tech. So those are going to be three major spaces of the job market in Longmont, and then also what contributes to the economy. What I will say as well is that if you are somebody that is moving to Colorado in hopes of getting a job, I highly recommend reaching out because we really want to make sure that you are stable and have a way of earning income while you search for that better job, or we are putting a hold on you moving here until you are ready and have that job lined up, because time and time again, people come out here with hopes of getting. I'm not feeling too well, so pardon my scratchy voice, but a lot of times people come here in hopes of getting a better job, of making more money. And what they run into is they come here with their savings, and the cost of living is very high, the housing is very high, and they find themselves burning through a lot of their savings before they're able to land down a job. And oftentimes they end up settling for a job that they don't really like because the savings are running out. So, regardless if you're buying, regardless if you're renting, please reach out. I would love to make sure that you are set up for success instead of moving here, regretting your situation, regretting your decision, and either having to move back to where you came from or not truly being able to take advantage of everything that Colorado has to offer. Because if you do it right, this is going to be an incredible and enjoyable experience, and one that is going to continue being incredible and enjoyable after you move here. If you do it wrong, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be hard. And I'm truly here to make sure that that doesn't happen. So reach out. Back to the location and transportation, and I want to say that I touched on this a little bit before in different segments, but specifically, Longmont is located, I would say, right smack dab where you want to be if you want convenience and access to all things. When we are talking about the pros that you can expect when living in Longmont, Colorado, it's going to be that it is way more affordable than the surrounding areas like Boulder and Denver. So you still have all of the things that those areas have to offer. You're also able to easily go to those areas without having to pay such a high premium for housing. You're also in Boulder County, so you get this lower price point while still being in Boulder County. You also have the option to live in Boulder County or Weld County, giving you more control over the price that you are paying monthly and on your property taxes. I will also say that what's great about living in Longmont is that you have incredible views without the price tag. You also have a big mix of housing. There's apartments, condos, single family homes, different styles of single family homes. You also have a historic area on 3rd Avenue, a great walkable downtown area, tons of things to do. What I will say on cons is that Longmont does have a small town community feel, and that's one of the pros. And as with everywhere, people are moving here and it is growing and it is developing. And so, depending on where you're at in Longmont, you could not have that small town feel, and it could feel very heavy in development and city like. So, that truly is the importance in reaching out, because I can truly help guide you to those pockets that are going to fit the type of lifestyle that you want to lead. And then with that, traffic is getting crazy. So if you are somebody that is living in Longmont for the price tag and is going to have to commute because you work in Fort Collins, Boulder, Denver, anywhere outside of Longmont, you really want to be mindful and careful on when you're leaving, and really note the times of rush hour, because you could easily end up being on the highway for an hour to an hour and 45 minutes. I have done it from Denver. It's awful, and it truly is not enjoyable. And it starts to make you start to weigh that price tag of, is it worth me going up in purchase price for me to not have to sit in traffic for an hour and a half? So definitely reach out if you want help figuring out where the perfect place for you to live is. Definitely reach out if Longmont is not the right fit for you, because I would love to help guide you in a place that is going to be a fit based on the type of situation that you have. And then one of the things that I want to do before we end this video is the Prospect neighborhood. I'm going to do some overlay just so that you can see it. It's super cute. It's one of the areas that I will direct you if you're looking for small town vibe, charm, and a ton of very cute amenities with that character. All of these homes are so fun. There's so much color in the neighborhood. And there's also a neighborhood coffee shop called Cave Girl. Super fun drinks. There are beautiful trees. So right now it is fall and it is absolutely gorgeous. There's a bookstore, there's little shops, and so it's very walkable. You have parks, you have a restaurant. There's a lot of things for you to do within this neighborhood. And what that means is that you are going to meet your neighbors, you're going to get to know your neighborhood. It's going to be that community vibe. So if you are looking for community within a city, Prospect neighborhood is going to be incredible for you. And I would love to help get you here. So again, this is Moving to Colorado. I'm Taylor Ratliff, your host, and I'm also a Colorado realtor that moved here from New Mexico, and my life has truly opened up because of where I live. And there's a lot of things that I have learned along the way, a lot of things I wish I would have done differently. And I would love to help guide you and help you avoid the mistakes that I made, and also help provide an exceptional and enjoyable and as stress-free, smooth as possible experience moving here. So without any more added to that, I want to help you. I would love to get you moved to Colorado. It's a beautiful place and it truly adds increase to your life. So reach out, definitely subscribe, hit the like, hit that bell so that you can be kept in the loop for every time that I make a video, and reach out. I'd love to talk to you and get you moved here. Until the next one, bye.